Today started off quite quiet, and we are choosing quiet paths as usual, trying to avoid too much busy stuff going on. There's a festival, music festival all over the place this long weekend, so we don't even have to think going near there, because then everything is also full of cracked bottles and glass. Komm mal rüber, Rico. Komm mal rüber. Komm rüber. Nee, komm rüber. Komm. Okay. Under the chestnut trees. Lädchen hier. Komm. Komm. Yeah, he's got a lot of suspicious looks now, because that's also why I'm making this video. There was a cargo bike once again, our favorite confrontation, and what I wanted to say about it. Komm mal weiter, Rico. You know, when he said one trigger, he's just looking for the next, and then it piles and piles. So I'm trying to look for this people, so that he doesn't get a nerve Doppelhit-Junkie, you know? Because you can also... Hey, jetzt bleiben wir mal hier im Schatten. We stay in the shade now a bit, yeah? So. Rico, komm mal rüber. The cargo bikes. Okay, there are people coming with a dog that went the other way, although our two dogs harmonize quite well. But they are sensitive, at least. The cargo bike situation. The cargo bike situation. Rico, da sind Freunde. Da sind ja Freunde, oder? Sind doch Freunde, ne? Can see you on approach. Sind das Freunde, Rico? Ja. Okay. Sorry about the delay again with the cargo bikes. He was also distracted with a fly landing on him. Also, I just wanted to sit down for a moment. Yeah, wir sind Freunde. Wanted to sit down for a moment, and then he jumped up because there was a beetle walking there. So these street dogs, I don't know how they survive in the kennel even, with flies all over the place. They are so sensitive to, oh, this grass composition doesn't feel right, and this leaves composition also not. And now the cargo bike, yeah? I don't have eyes at the back, although you can see I'm not even able to focus properly talking to you directly, because I have to keep my eyes peeled in all directions all the time. The cargo bike came from behind once again. And that's what I wanted to point out, you know, you can try to avoid all of those interferences, but if you're even walking on the sidewalk and there's a little path joining or something, and even if everything's going right, like the cargo bike is going on its own path, but coming your way to cross and then turn, so that they would be aligned again. But the moment before they turn, to him, it looks as if it's coming directly towards him, you know. He can't know that they're going to turn the last moment, so then he freaks out, of course. No? Rico, is that okay? We go to another spot where there are more other flies. So that thing, you know, you can do everything right under the circumstances, basically, but this situation where something's moving towards and then turning, that last moment is always like, of course he thinks it's coming towards him, and then I have no chance of keeping him quiet. Another thing, when dogs off-leash come rushing into him, which of course he tries to fend away, and then the situation is aggravated by the people trying to catch their dog and then bending over the whole combined bundle of dogs like a ghost blanket kind of thing. What must he think, you know? It's now someone shouting for their dog coming near him, and then I tell them, don't go near him. I was only trying to get to my dog, and then they keep totally out of the equation that if two dogs are close to each other, going to his dog is also going to mine. And then I tell them, but he doesn't know the difference. For him, it's like now it's not just a dog rushing in, now it's also a man bending over towards him, shouting and making funny movements in an attempt to catch his dog, you know. So those are the unintentional misunderstandings where everything seems to be... it's so boring, yeah, Rico? Everything seems to be going right, basically, but nothing's going right because the intentions are different from how the situations turn out, but he only takes for real what he's experiencing, you know, and not like, oh, but the bicycle's gonna turn the next moment, or oh, 5 guys walk up to you, but the next moment, the last second, they'll get maybe out of the way. That's not what he sees, you know. And a guy catching his dog close to mine, and then him telling, yeah, I didn't want to, yeah, but being close to his own dog is being close to mine if the two dogs are close to each other. Makes sense, doesn't it? So I told him that from his perspective, but he doesn't know you weren't coming towards him because you are towards him already. Oh my goodness. That's what gives me a hard time, because those are the things where I really see no matter what I do, I don't have a chance in those situations to make a different outcome, you know. And those are for him, the confirmations where he can have so many good experiences, and then those other ones are part of it also. Some relaxing grazing in the stinging nettles is always good after some excitement. And he doesn't eat it to vomit it up again. Sometimes, yes, but oftentimes he'll just really eat it. It comes out, of course, as strings, but it's not always to vomit. And I think the chlorophyll also is helping to be, I don't know, cleaning or something. There are people who pull their dogs away when they want to graze, but how original and natural can it get than a street dog knowing what he needs, huh? Yeah? Also, he's standing in the middle of all this refreshing vegetation. I think he's giving his aura. Oh, this time he'll vomit now. I can see his stomach starting. But I will give him privacy now.